From Rochelle Jordan, Through the Wall. So on my quest to catch up with the critically acclaimed R&B electronic crossover albums of 2025, where you piss off everyone by calling them alternative R&B, we got Rochelle Jordan. Born in the UK, but coming up in Toronto, she had her toes in a lot of electronic subgenres, but anchored her sound in some potent husky R&B, where if Drake didn't probably see her as a local threat and referenced her on record, they probably would have collaborated by now. Now there was a lot of label nonsense stymieing her career in the 2010s, but this is her first album in 4 years. A lot of critics love it, and where I'd absolutely agree that alternative R&B is the wrong label, because sonically this is heavily indebted to mid to late 90s house-inflected dance pop and R&B with just enough modern progressions to feel more contemporary. Insert very obvious Janet Jackson comparison here, but this is a project that feels steeped in traditionalism and the historic lineage, living in smoky yet polished mid-tempo rhythms that occasionally have some intriguing modulation, like the drum and bass change-up on Words to Say, or the Jersey Club of Eyes Shut, with the feel of an extended club set rather than a more lyrical album statement. And I really wish the mastering didn't completely take me out of the experience. I know it's probably built more for bigger speakers on the dance floor where this isn't as much of an issue, but the mids and highs on this album kept scraping my headphones on the compressed vocal line, the percussion, even some of the effects that it became actively difficult to appreciate in full on cuts like Ladida, Bite the Bait, Onto Something, Sweet Sensation, especially Eyes Shut, and especially as it also borrows the 90s tendency of running way too long and not sustaining its momentum. It's a little bit better when the songs trend more towards textured house, like the bassy patter of Some, or Crave, or the house-inflected Close to Me, or the wheedling but breathy Never Enough, but when you then realize lyrically this album doesn't really move beyond a lot of broadly sketched dance floor hookups, self-love, or melodrama, and when you get the painfully shallow politics of Eyes Shut, you kind of wish it stays there, where the melodies are not as prominent or dynamic outside of Jordan's admittedly impressive singing, even with the thin excuse that the lyrics can be more basic or play to very obvious cliches. It's just not going to stick as much, especially when there are weirder metallic textures that keep lurking around the sides of songs but are never allowed to really cut loose. Look, there's nothing wrong with appreciating a solid throwback. They're all over every critic's year-end list in every genre, but inheriting a frustratingly restrained dance album with a dicey master and a shortage of melodic hooks just isn't for me. If what I described would work for you, skip the headphones on this entirely, try to hear it live outside where you can dance, but otherwise, hard to recommend.